goodness, I'm gonna start. Gonna start. Hello and welcome to Slice of Anime, a podcast hosted by a couple of Daisy nerds who like geeking out about anime with friends. My name's Aarti and I'm here today with Anshuman and Lauren and Ryle.
Hi.
And take us away, Anshuman, with our topic for today.
So today we'll talk about something that brings anime to real life, that is conventions and cosplays. So guys, what is the first anime convention that you'd ever attended?
Lauren, start us off, please.
That's a I think the first one has to be Comic-Con. Yeah. So like in Mumbai, it was only Comic-Con and Cool Japan Fest that I attended. Yeah, so Comic-Con is probably the very first one. Same for you, right, Ryle? Or did you?
2013, right?
Yeah. Which, funny thing is, I've never attended Comic-Con as an attendee. Like my first year only I volunteered. So I don't really I've always just volunteered. Even Cool Japan Fest, same. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. I think this was which year? 2018?
So
18, I think.
I can't remember.
I think it was 16 because I remember
18.
you ditched college dandiya night to go volunteer, and I was really upset with you because you promised me you would come.
Yes.
I think it was 2016.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then they never had dandiya night. Yeah.
The year after that, they never had it, so you didn't have a chance to make it up to me. Sally. We'll hold that against you for the rest of your life.
That is true. Yeah. So Comic-Con was very first one.
I started off with Comic-Con 2016 with Lauren. I think I started off 1 year I did as a volunteer. After that, I always went as an attendee. Besides Comic-Con, there was Cool Japan Fest. There were some others like ESL and all. They're more on the gaming side. But yeah, there are a couple of
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
ESL. I have no idea the full form.
Okay. We're professionals, guys.
Esports League, I think. Esports League, I think. But yeah. So ESL and what's the other one? IGX. Yeah. So these
IGX, right?
Yeah. So these two are for gaming. They're more gaming related events, but they have cosplay and also I used to attend.
Nice.
Yeah, Ryle says he attended as an attendee, but he cosplayed every time. I don't think you've ever gone just like that. It was always like.
Okay, but you have to pay to attend.
Really? Even for the cosplays? I thought cosplays got a free pass.
No, we have to pay to attend. Okay, some events are free if you're cosplaying. Some are open to everyone. Comic-Con and all you have to pay to attend. So yeah, even cosplayers have to pay to attend.
It's free, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nothing is free in this world. Guys, we live in a capitalist society. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
But speaking of money, like how much does like a standard entry pass cost, and like what's the breakdown like? How much does it cost?
I think now it's about $600 for Comic-Con single day pass.
Probably like 8 now. It used to be 6 back then.
I think it's Comic-Con anywhere now for like since 2 years.
Yeah, we're talking pre-COVID, guys. All pre-COVID.
Okay, pre-COVID, I still think it was about $600-700 at Comic for a con pass. I mean, you're paying for the entry and they give you just a tiny goodie bag. That's like a bag, a poster, and a small like mini comic, I think.
You will get like other stuff that changes every year.
Yeah. But
a super.
But it's okay.
I do agree. Yeah.
So I think the passes they have like different values for each. The single day pass is $600 or $700. They have like a super fan pass, which is like special entry, and then they have a 2-day pass where you pay some amount for both the days.
I think the year it started, I joined the first year started in 2015, I think. Con started 2015 or 2014. And
14, I think.
that
Yeah.
year it was completely free and it was amazing. And then from the next year, the ticket price went to 300 and then next year went to 500 and then it's kept on rising.
Yeah.
That's how inflation works,
Based on
guys.
That's the reason. From 3 to 300 is a bit too much. I think
I
because
know it. Yeah, it seems pricey, but even here, like when I attended like the Comic Cons that we have here in Melbourne, even then it was like $40 or so. Like it's like similar. It is sort of yeah. That is like what the rate is, unfortunately.
But
Yeah.
okay, talking economically, I have zero economics experience, background, etc. But I'm still going to ask the question anyway. How much is like the maximum price you're willing to pay, knowing what a convention is offering you? Like, what's your highest like rate you're willing to go to get an entry into an event? Like, what do you think is justifiable, and what do you think beyond which is too expensive?
I'll just go first. I think it depends on the panels and the events. So if like a good panel is coming, like good comedians, good artists, and good mangakas. So I think I'll be willing to pay 1,500 to 3,000 per day. I think that's a
Okay.
reasonable. Otherwise, I don't think so. It's worth going, even if it's free.
Yeah, it depends on like
Okay.
your interest in particular. Fair. For me that's a little hard because I would always choose volunteering over just attending. Like I just love volunteering for pop culture events.
In case
I don't even like see myself.
in case you don't get selected, and you really want to
I
go.
don't. Is there a selection process for volunteers? Speaking of what Anshuman, going from what Anshuman is saying, do you actually have like a screening process?
Oh yeah. It's
There should be,
actually
right?
pretty intense. First you fill out like a whole form online. Then if they like it, they'll get back to you. Then you have to attend like all the meetings and stuff where they'll brief you about things. There sometimes they'll sort of talk to you. They may interview you. Then you have to like show them that you're enthusiastic and you're actually interested. So it's and then there's another screening process, and then finally, you get selected. So, yep, it's a process basically. So the reason I really love volunteering for pop culture events is because there's just this sort of like everyone sort of loves the same thing, so you can really like let your inner geek out because it's like a whole community, and like when you're actually volunteering for it, there's this adrenaline rush sort of. It's just like so much of fun, and just knowing that you're a part of like this whole event, and like to the success of it, like it sort of does depend on you, like how you're doing and stuff. So I really love volunteering for that reason. So that itself like gives me a lot of joy. But other than that, you get to like meet. I've made so many friends over the years. I'm still in touch with them to this date. Like you meet like a whole bunch of people interested in like the same things you are, which wouldn't have happened otherwise. Materialistic things, if you're talking about, you do get like a bunch of stuff. And then sometimes you get like free goodies. Sometimes, like end of the show, there's all of these discounts which you'll get as well. You don't have to pay for ticket prices, obviously, for the tickets.
Yeah, like you're providing your services, and in exchange you get perks.
You're working for them, so
Considering
it's
you
just
don't
a
get
very,
paid
very
actual
fun
money.
experience. Yeah. You don't get paid to volunteer, but I still think I would still do it like every single time. I really think it's like worth it. Yeah, irrespective of everything else. That you volunteered
Um,
for 1 year, right? What did you
Yeah,
think in that? um,
I
yeah.
was I was outside near the ticket counter for a while,
Hmm.
and then I'd come in, and I don't remember because that was in 2016. Yeah, but I
mm,
remember being at the ticket counter for a while. It was like hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's like that was like a fun place because everyone comes in from there. You could see all the cosplayers coming through, and
Hmm.
like whoever was dressed up came in from there. So I'm like, okay. And then after I think 3:34, like we went inside and we didn't have much to do then. It was more like a free time
Hmm.
to
Hmm, hmm.
roam around.
Yeah. Everyone's so
So yeah,
enthusiastic though. The
it was
energy
nice.
the whole time. It's just
but I mean, as much as we love sunshine and positivity in on this podcast, do you guys have any like horrible experiences or like things you don't like about the volunteer process or things people should be aware of that they're gonna have to deal with if they're gonna go in for volunteering, like seriously?
so a volunteer or attendee in general, you do have to know it will be crowded. And you also do have to constantly sort of like keep moving and not like huddle or you know the drill. Like don't be stuck like um yeah, like but I mean that's India everywhere. We are like you're like just be prepared. It will get crowded, it will get like hot. Um Other than that, I don't think I've really had any bad experience.
I don't think there's a bad experience in
Yeah.
And if
Comic Con. It's just you're in a crowded area. You have to keep moving around. You can't be like this. Yeah, even
Yeah.
though there's ACs, it'll be slightly hot. But
Because
yeah,
having
it's
ups
pretty
and downs.
fun.
any bad event you remember, like any something any event that was like horrible or bad, which should not happen.
Disappointing. Okay, let's not use bad words because that just sounds
How
really
how
negative. Was there something that was disappointing? I feel like these two are too nice. They're not gonna bitch even if we encourage them, man. Anshuman,
I
very nice,
genuinely
sweet
can't
people.
think of things.
They complain about the weather and the heat. They don't complain about anything else. It's kind of like it's wonderful. And this is going to be like the most positive episode we ever have.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's nothing to bitch about in anything, like, really. I mean, you can bitch about the prices. Like, yeah, it's freaking expensive
Yeah.
to the tickets. I'm like, would you really pay that amount to just go for 1 day? But yeah, I think the prices are the only issue with Comic Con. Other events are free, but if you talk about Comic Con, I think it's only the ticket prices that are really high. But I think at times they're justified when you see the guest list and everything.
Yeah.
At times, not always,
Fair
but at
enough.
times.
And like
So
Okay,
speaking of that, what
I
about
found, yeah.
merchandise?
Okay, yeah, here we can
Like,
bitch about. Here we can bitch
there we
about.
go. See, I found it.
Yeah, it clicked. Okay, merchandise. That depends on seller to seller, honestly. Uh, I'll give you an example. There was this figure I was looking for. I went to this particular shop and he was giving it to me at a decent price. And I knew the approximate value of the figure because I checked it out online and everything, and I was down to order it. And then I go to this other shop, and he tried to sell me the figure at 3 times the price. And I just looked at him like, "Do you think I'm an idiot and I don't know how much that cost?" I'm like, "That's a price figure. Don't put a price on it if you don't know how much it costs." I'm like,
Hmm.
"Did you just like try to loot me?" I just walked away. I'm like, "Nah, I don't think that's even worth that amount." And I went and got it from the first shop I seen it at. So yeah, Comic Con. If you know what you're buying, if you know what the merchandise is worth, you will find it at like there are people who will sell it at good prices. You get it reasonably priced. Uh, Am I allowed to say shop names over here?
Yes, you're allowed.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Others-
I'll just give you one example. There is Nerd Arena. Uh, Nerd Arena. I bought quite a few figures from there, and they gave it at really good prices. And there are other shops not going to name, and they try to rip me off for the same merchandise that I bought from Nerd Arena. I mean, I know the normal price, but they just look at you at Comic Con and like, okay, does this person really know what he's buying? And I think they just throw a price on that, because at times, they just put like this tiny yellow sticker on the box of the price, so you can't really tell.
Marketing gimmicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. So yeah,
So shop
merchant.
smart. Shop smart is
Yeah,
is
shop
the
smart.
advice.
Yeah, shop smart. Know what you want. You'll come like, and you also get other stuff, mangas and all. I think those have the price written on it, so that's not an issue. T-shirts. Yeah, there's a lot of T-shirts at Comic Con you can
T-shirts,
buy.
yeah.
You'll just have to, see what you like and see if it's reasonable to you. But yeah, comic. There's figures is the only thing you like merchandise you can bitch about that. 'Cause, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. What about you, Lauren?
T-shirts, I remember they used to have a lot of good sales. Yeah.
Yeah,
I bought even like posters, they had like good ones. They have a lot of yeah, but like Ryle said, it depends. It can be overpriced. You have to sort of, yeah,
yeah.
know what. Um
Go towards the
even
end of the
like,
event. Just go
yeah.
towards the end of the event.
Yeah,
Best advice.
I remember. I
If
remember.
you tell it to everyone, I
I
wanted to
remember,
say it, but I didn't.
I remember someone telling. I remember someone telling me. I think it was you, Lauren. Like, why didn't you stay till the end of the second day? Everyone was giving away stuff and it was such a high discount. I was like, really? Why didn't you tell me before?
Oh God.
Yeah, these are volunteer secrets that we are distributing out to our 25 viewers that are going to watch this podcast. It's fine. You're not going to get swarmed at conventions. I think you're fine.
Oh my
So far,
God.
so far.
Yeah. No, but like, yeah, whenever like friends come, I always tell them, oh wait, don't buy it yet. But yeah.
The trade secrets, people. Only on the Slice of Anime podcast will you find
Oh my
this
God.
inside information. Self promotion. Shameless self promotion has been done now.
Has anyone
Okay.
been to other Comic Cons beside the Bombay one, as in India?
I've
No,
been
no, no.
I've been to Ahmedabad. I mean, they had it like last year.
How is it?
It
Wait,
was the
last
first
year
time.
meaning COVID?
No, just before
During?
COVID. Just before COVID.
Ah, okay.
We don't
2020.
consider the COVID here. It's just like, yeah, out of the timeline.
Hey.
So I think Ahmedabad Comic Con was the last Comic Con held. After that, COVID came and there was no Comic Con after that. And Ahmedabad Comic Con, I think they held it for the first time over there. Uh, it was compared to other Comic Cons, since it was the first time over there, it wasn't very crowded. The venue was lovely, like really good venue, and like people were quite chilled over there. Like you had it was you felt it. How if I had to how do I describe it? It was a good Comic Con. I mean, compared to Mumbai, where it's always crowded, that venue was huge. You could move around. You could actually like chill over there peacefully. It wasn't like just keep moving and look around. Like there was a lot of stuff at Ahmedabad Con.
But then isn't the fun in the crowd, as in there are a lot of people hustling and a lot of cosplays and everything?
It
Yeah,
depends,
it
right,
depends.
on the
So
person.
I
Yeah.
have a few friends in Delhi and Chennai. I don't think so it's because the first time it was so empty. My friend went to Delhi Comic Con and one of my friends went to Bangalore Comic Con, and they were sending pictures and it was deserted, and I like one or two people and barely anyone there. So it's like I think the Mumbai one is the only one which gets so much response as of it.
Yeah.
I think Bangalore also gets quite a big response. Like,
But I don't think it's not as huge as Bombay.
Mm.
yeah, yeah, they're pretty huge. I mean, Bangalore and Mumbai, I think, are like big. Delhi would be on the lower
Delhi was.
side. Delhi is on the lower side. Yeah, I can agree with that. But Bangalore is huge.
I don't think so. Yeah, maybe when it's now I don't know, but then maybe when it was pretty. I think, but the Mumbai, when they started it, the first initial response for Mumbai was really good. I don't think
Yeah.
so. No state can compare to that. They're like pretty. I've been to the first one. It was pretty crowded. Amazing cosplays. Amazing people. Yeah.
Cosplays have been amazing throughout the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cosplay is
They've,
always
they've kept the
getting
standard
better.
gone beyond. Yeah.
I mean, we're going to move into cosplays in part 2 of this discussion, but I'm gonna ask the last final question before we end off this topic, which is, what is post COVID? What are your expectations for cons? Like, what do you think? Do you think we're ever going to be able to go back to normal? Firstly, and secondly, if we don't, what do you think? Do you think the experience is going to be affected by the mask wearing and the distancing and the et cetera, et cetera? Like, what are your thoughts, guys?
Yeah. So like, I really do hope that things get to normal as soon as possible. But yeah, otherwise, like over here, we did have the Oz Comic-Con. We did have it a while ago. So we did go back, but then the number of people allowed to enter was reduced. Face masks were compulsory. So that changes it a bit. It's not, I mean, it's still fun, I guess. It's just at a lower energy level. But
See, the crowd matters.
Oh,
I don't think the face mask will be a problem. Social distancing is, as in, that's
it's not
properly.
impossible. It's impossible at a convention if we're being realistic about it. But my
Okay.
point is that do you feel like your overall enjoyment of an event is affected by the circumstances in which it's organized, considering pandemic?
Probably. I
Yeah.
mean, probably like Comic-Con, the crowd is important. You're obviously going to go with friends, and I don't think anyone's going to go like just 2 or 3 people. You go in a big group. So
usually, yeah.
yeah, so the social distancing thing is there. Like, will you be able to go with your full group and friend circle? Everyone will want to click photos, definitely with cosplayers or at photo booths. Like,
Exactly.
so social distancing is gone out of the window over there. I mean, the whole idea of social distancing is like keep distance, don't huddle up together, and that's the very definition of Comic Con, where you go in and you'll be with your friends all together.
Yeah.
It's going to be crowd like we said, Comic Con is always crowded. So I don't think in any circumstances like they will start Comic Con in India at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe after a while it could happen. I don't think any events are going to happen now, especially in India. I mean, India, we can't, crowd control is not possible in India. I mean, we
But
can
in
all, yeah, we can
India, we
agree
are
with that.
having concerts and social distanced comedy shows. I think quite possible, but not very sure.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure they're doing the
realistically, that would
best they
also
can.
drive up the price, wouldn't it?
It
Like,
would
considering
drive
that's
up
our
the
primary
price.
complaint.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would drive up the price. Also, like, who's going to, are you really going to fight for tickets? We like, if there are just 500 tickets, you all will be like, yeah, we have to get a ticket. Also,
Mm.
if okay, this is from a cosplayer's perspective. If cosplayers want to go and all the tickets are sold out by 10 days and cosplayers have to buy a ticket, do we get like a free pass to participate? These are things you can think about.
These are
But
changes we will suggest in a formal petition at the end, hopefully.
Hopefully.
there's also the thing that like most people do cosplay. There's different levels. There's like people who
Yeah.
do it like a professionally, but then people do like, very simple sort of cosplay as well. Like
Just
there's like
for
so
hanging.
many.
Yeah.
That's like more than half almost. So then if you're gonna say like keep it free, like it's sort of like where do
Yeah.
you start?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
the problem
Yeah.
with
Another thing would be like, I'm pretty sure at this point they will limit entry to a certain amount. So if we're going to limit entry to a certain amount, would there be less vendors to sell merchandise? I mean, merchandise is a very big part of Comic Con, so
Mm.
you'll probably not have those many shops there.
Yeah.
Would you? I don't think we'll have international guests. Very rare chance of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
would,
Even we didn't
so
have.
without
Yeah.
these things, would it really be a convention? Like,
Mhm.
not,
Yeah, like if even if you have an international panel on like a screen doing a live stream into a
That's
hall where people are sitting, it's kind of disappointing. And if you're cosplaying and have to wear a mask, that is,
uh,
I mean, how does that work? I don't.
for a
Okay,
superhero
so
cosplay really work.
okay.
Yeah, you have to have superhero cosplays with helmets. That's
Yeah.
all you. That's your only option.
Okay, getting back to that, Comic Con International is doing Comic Con online, I think.
Oh dear.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Online conventions are fun.
Okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing? What do we think?
I don't know how it goes because we don't have that in India, but internationally, I think it's happening online. At least I know there are cosplay competitions online where they submit photos of their entry, and I think there's a video, and based on that they judge, like a live stream kind of a thing. So that's happening abroad, but India, no chance.
I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Um,
I think
good way to
cosplay
let
online
people
makes
keep
sense.
cosplaying. Yeah. But yeah, the whole
Cosplay,
convention online, I don't really
yeah.
know about.
Because the fun
Yeah.
part is in interacting with everyone and buying
true,
merch.
Yeah,
true.
community like Indian otaku
I would
community.
still. Oh my god. Yeah, but like if you have a chance, I would definitely say volunteer rather than attend.
Same thing.
Yeah, because it's like another family altogether. Everyone's super nice. All of the main leads, the heads, they're just, oh my god, they're amazing, honestly. So yeah, you're in good hands. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Is there anything else anybody wants to say before we move to part two, guys?
So, what do you prefer better, Cool Japan Fest or Comic Con, as a volunteer
Uh,
or as a attendee?
So Comic Con is a bigger sort of environment,
Yeah.
and there's all of these pre-events. You're meeting people continuously. You have all of these meetings with your team. So there's like a bond that's sort of formed in a way. Cool Japan Fest was more like, oh, on the day. You don't really interact with your peers as much. It was still a great experience, no doubt. And also, CGF does. I don't think they're doing it anymore anyway. They stopped
Yeah, they stopped. I
a
think
few
they
years
did
ago.
three. They did three.
It
CJ when they stopped.
stopped. Yeah. But yeah, both places.
I don't know why.
Because it's too expensive.
Huh?
This they pay
How is it too expensive?
volunteers and entry is free.
Oh, they're paying volunteers.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're not a volunteer if you're paid.
yeah,
Whatever.
exactly.
Like tell
I
you.
mean,
I'm
yeah,
just getting nitpicky
Yeah.
at this point. Sorry.
yeah. I don't know what to call them. Yeah, you're
Stop.
Staff. There we go.
Yeah, staff. Yes. But I think both places. Yeah, I would still prefer volunteering over attending. Yeah, that's for sure. Although when you're volunteering, sometimes you could be out in the heat for a while, depending on which department you're in. So that may or may
And which
not.
country you're in.
Yes,
And which
that.
season it's happening in.
Yeah. So maybe
Really?
that's something.
It doesn't matter
Good
in comics if it happens in. It's always hot during the noon. They screened Attack on Titan's first episode worldwide alongside they simulcasted in CJF, the first episode of Attack on Titan. The first-
Oh.
Really? That was like 2012. Was CJ a thing in 2012?
CJ?
No, not 20. No, not
Pretty
2012. Just
old.
way after 2015. I think the first episode came in 2015 or the 3 I think it came.
No, 2013. Okay, you know what? I'm fact
No.
checking this. Hold on, give me a minute.
Originated in like 2014.
aired between April 7th, 2013 and September 29th, 2013.
Oh.
That was the first season. So it's very possible they did the first episode of one of the subsequent seasons at one of the fests. It's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like so long ago, man.
Yeah.
Titan.
I remember.
It does. Yeah.
The third season was April 2017 to June 2017 and then picked up again in July. It's very possible you all went to the third season. Second
I
or
miss
third.
it
We'll see.
though. Oh my god.
If you want conventions to come back, people should keep wearing masks. That's the PSA for
Yes.
this video.
Yes. True that. Oh.
We move on to part 2, guys. Cosplay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, how many years have you been cosplaying for, you guys?
So let me start first. I have cosplayed for every Comic-Con and Cool Japan Fest as a side character in the background.
I'm pretty sure Anshuman is yet cosplaying as a hentai protagonist with his hair in front.
Yes!
Oh my god.
There's the reason side characters get less screen time in anime. Okay, move on.
So I started cosplaying in 2018. Was it, Lauren? 2018 or 2017?
18, I think.
I think it's 18. I'm not sure, but
I think it's 18. Yeah.
Very
Around
prepared,
that
guys.
time.
it was a long time back,
Yeah.
couple of years. Yeah, but I didn't do many, like, okay, so casual cosplay is one thing and like serious cosplays are one thing. I
Yeah.
reached a point where I'm like, nah, I'm done with casual. Let me try something serious just for fun. And yeah, that's how I started off with Predator. And from there, it just went on every event, something or the other.
That first cosplay was like very. I still remember though because this was the first time he was ever trying it, and then
Yeah.
yeah, like I would come over. I don't know, Tiana also I think, and then and this is the time you only use like scrap material, right? You didn't even like you didn't know exactly like what all.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
knew nothing about cosplay and I
Yeah.
just tried building something completely from scratch. And I was like, okay, this seems interesting. This looks it can fit. Let me just put it together.
It was
And-
everything
Context,
lying
Ryle is an
around.
artist, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy is talented, clearly, considering you put together Predator cosplay from scraps.
Yeah.
But I mean, did you actually have to spend a significant amount of money anyway to like get the cosplay made at the end of it? Like how much do you expect to spend on building cosplays?
So I think it depends on what you're building. Like Predator, to be honest, I didn't spend much. It was just scrap put together. But once I learned a bit on how like proper props and stuff is made, I started buying foam and trying it out. And from there, with foam, I bought a couple of tools, like a rotary tool, something to a heat gun and all that. So
You
yeah,
learned soldering also,
Oh my
just for
god.
cosplay.
so
Very serious.
so after some time, I started spending on cosplay. It started with buying tools and stuff. I'm not like I don't know how much a heat gun would be like 2,500, 2,000 bucks, probably less than 1,000 bucks. But yeah, so
One-time investment though, like the
yeah,
tool.
it's a
Yeah.
one-time investment for all the tools. How much do you actually spend on a cosplay? Very debatable question. I mean, people can do low budget cosplays, people can do casual cosplays. Now, when you take cosplay seriously, I mean, I don't think there's a limit on how much you can spend, because I know people who have spent up to 50K on a cosplay, probably spent more than 50K. And when you look at international cosplayers who really build good stuff, I mean, like, I really don't want to know how much they spend. It's like a scary amount. But the results they produce are insane. I
Uh,
mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of this, before I go to the next question, has anyone watched Low Cost Cosplayer?
Yes,
Yes.
the dude is amazing.
Amazing. I think
Amazing.
it,
He's like the lowest budget cosplayer I can ever think of. I'm like,
and
that's
does
a,
it pretty well. He does
yeah,
it pretty
he
well.
does it really well. Really, really well.
Very innovative. Yeah.
Innovation
Um,
is
We'll leave a link to that in
It's
the show notes.
a
Also, a follow-up question to this: can you give a crash course on how to go about building a cosplay, like cosplay 101?
Advice, yeah, to casual
okay.
people.
Uh, Casual cosplay, go thrift shopping. You'll get clothes. Get a bunch of paints. Getting into serious cosplay, find a character. Uh, this is something that Lauren will agree. Do sufficient planning and time management.
Oh my God. Yeah. The
Lauren,
countless sleepless nights and yeah, it
Lauren,
can get very intense. Yeah.
procrastination is your worst enemy. If you're like me, Lauren knows how many sleepless nights I've had staying up, being like, nah, this doesn't fit. Let me rebuild it. Let me repaint it. So, yeah, serious cosplay. I'm pretty sure everyone will be doing foam or something along those lines, body suits or whatever. So there will be some amount of investment with foam. You'll probably freehand it, or you'll be using a 3D model and then making a Pepakura file or something like that. Uh, so once
Can
if
we
you're
dumb it
freehand,
down? Okay. I mean,
yeah.
like,
She saw the clueless expressions on mine and Anshuman's faces, and she was like, "Speak
Okay,
English,
okay,
man.
okay,
Speak
okay.
English."
So okay, simple terms. Freehand, you'll just be like wrapping yourself in duct tape, foil and duct tape, then cutting it open, drawing a pattern on it, putting it on foam, tracing it out, then cutting the foam and gluing it back together, and you got a 3D shape. Pepakura is a 3D software where you get ready 3D models online, or you can make a 3D model in any 3D modeling software and import it into Pepakura, and that converts the 3D model into 2D parts. So you can just print those parts out in 2D, then cut it up and glue it together, and you got a 3D something.
Basically, a
Okay.
guideline.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like
Nice.
it makes templates. You can say that.
Okay.
I do think though that you have to be invested into it because, like Ryle said, that's different levels. So that there'll always be like more you can do. So it can take a lot of time. It can take a lot of effort. There'll
Uh,
be times when you just want to be like, okay, I give up. Like screw all of this.
True.
It really depends on like how passionate you are about it because it could. You have to be patient. You have to be positive, and just like tell yourself, you can do this, and
You
just
got to
go for it.
Yeah.
And
You got to
yeah,
plan and you got to give it time.
yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight. Like
Hmm.
you're-
Speaking of planning, how much time in advance would you recommend people start out if you're building something from scratch? Obviously, the complication levels of the cosplay play a factor in there, but give us an
so
average estimate.
Something basic.
Yeah.
2 months should do. 2 months, or as soon as you hear Comic Con is starting, was started on your cosplay. That's how I'd say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But people
like
start up to a year earlier.
yeah,
Like,
people do start up to a year
yeah.
in advance. There are people who take over a year. That's international level. I
Hmm.
mean, in India, I have a couple of friends that do take a couple of months in advance. Oh, so it's not like they work all like a fixed time. You if you say the total time is X hours, but they spend those X hours over many months. Like
Hmm.
my friend planned for one of his cosplays over a year in advance, but like on a daily basis, I think once a week he will just look at it and he'll be like, I'll start later. But he was pretty sure that he wanted to do that particular cosplay. So the idea of the cosplay is there right from the start. But when do you execute and begin work? That really depends on person to person. But 2 months, 3 months should be sufficient, I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, if you give it
Okay,
a good 2 hours a day, it should be sufficient.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And wait, I had another question. Yes. How much if you're cosplaying at a convention, serious cosplay or like casual slash serious cosplay, do you
Okay.
have to pay a certain amount to have the like enter the cosplay section or whatever, get access to it? Or do you have to just pay the standard entry fee and you're done? What's it like? Do you have to register?
You have to register for all events, I think. There's always a form that you fill online, or there is on-site registration. There's no event that charges you to cosplay. I think it's free for all
It's
events.
all, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I think what Aarti means is cosplay competition.
No,
uh,
As in,
cosplay competitions and competitions aside, like for casually going to a convention, if you're
I,
not competing, I don't expect you to be charged.
yeah,
But if you want to like be there and like have an area where you can take pictures with people, etc., whether you're competing or not, is that charged?
no, it's free. I only think you only pay the entry fees, and if the event does not have an entry fee, yeah, you're just free to cosplay casually, or if you're registered.
Okay.
There is a photo booth. You can just walk up to the photo booth and click a photo. There's no charge or anything involved.
Yeah, a lot of the cosplay competitions, yeah, you do have cash prizes, which is good because you're not paying an entry fee, like, to participate, but they still do have like a cash prize, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
how much usually is the cash price? As in, does it?
uh, it depends, to be honest. Event to event. Comic Con is big, so I think it was 50K when
50,
I
I think.
yeah
Wow.
50K
That
Comic.
was years ago though. Yeah.
Would
Um,
Uh, I think it's the same. I'm not sure.
hmm.
would you would the effort in a cosplay depend on the cash prize? As in, if you're taking part in the competition, for example,
Yeah.
would you recommend that if you put more money and effort for the for the cosplay which has cosplay competition which is higher price, or is it like the same?
I, I think it's the same effort. It's just what you are creating that matters.
But okay, jumping off from there, once you have your cosplay created and you've used it at like a convention, what do you do with it
Hmm.
afterwards? Like, obviously you can use it at different conventions, but like,
Yeah.
is there
After you're
anything
done with
that
it,
you can do to like,
I don't
what
know.
do you do with the cosplay? Do you just like store it for posterity? Do you sell it online? Do you I don't know, donate it? What do you do with
I
it?
can just picture Ryle's mom being like going crazy with the stuff he used to have lying around the hall and the,
You're correct.
oh my god.
I'll agree with you on that. Uh, my mom did go crazy with all the costumes stored up in my room. She's like, "Your room has no space anymore. What are you going to keep building?" So
Yes.
after a point, uh, I don't know about what others do about cosplay. People keep their cosplays. They put it in boxes and just store it somewhere. Some
Somewhere.
people, yeah, some people donate their cosplays. I don't know. You can donate it some anywhere. Uh, what else? I recycle it, to be honest. As in recycle, as in once
Hmm.
the cosplay is there, I'll keep part of the cosplay, but if I know I'm not going to use the cosplay again, I just break it apart, take the foam,
Ouch.
and use it for fun things.
That sounds painful.
Fun things, he says.
I mean, recycling is good, man. We're encouraging this behavior, so good on you for actually doing that.
I mostly use it to make templates for my new cosplays. I mean, I throw out the cosplay at the end of the day, but that's after I've used it thoroughly and I know I'm never going to use it. Whatever material is there, like if I have really tiny parts of foam that I require, I just use it from the old cosplay. That's if the part can be reused. Most parts can't be reused because we've already painted it and primed it with glue, so they become really hard. But if you can reuse certain parts, you go ahead. I did that a few times. Other than that, yeah, my cosplays are lying in a box, thrown away in a corner, never to be seen again. Uh,
You can make a showcase and
I,
display
I
cosplays.
I've done that. For my Predator helmet, I've put a nail in the wall and I mounted it on the wall, like how the Predator mounts his helmet in the movie. I did that in my
That's
room, and I have my helmet of Nightmare. I bought a mannequin head and put the helmet on that, and I put it up on top of my bookshelf where I keep my figures.
nice,
So it's a
nice.
display piece. The other cosplay was Dragon Knight. Yeah, I threw that out.
No. Oh my gosh.
It okay, it was big, it was occupying too much space. I didn't really know what to do with it.
You
Mom
can
was
just wear
shouting,
it
get it off.
everywhere. You
Yeah,
can,
it was everywhere.
you can wear it
So
everywhere to parties and all.
no way.
Okay, how many realistic
No.
costume parties are you gonna have, man?
Not
Okay,
costume, but normal party. Or
are you
family
Normal
members
really?
of party.
parties.
I
Halloween.
I think you're going to die in the costume before you can think about. It's hot. This is India. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, something to consider. Yeah, ventilation, costumes. You can get
for
really, really hot. Like
really really
you can
hot.
actually get dizzy and stuff. Stay hydrated, mask and all. You have to be careful. Yeah, yeah. Forgot about that.
Lauren knows.
Yeah, yeah. I just remembered. It
Share the
can be a
incident.
struggle.
Yeah.
Share the
Oh,
incident.
some people rent their cosplays as
Yeah,
well.
people rent
So,
People
cosplays
do
as
that.
well. So
Yeah.
if you want to give your cosplay for rent, you can also do that.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
really matters. What do you, if you really want to keep it for sentimental value, you can. Otherwise, I think most people will get rid of it. In some way or the other.
We recommend recycling on this channel. Don't be wasteful, guys. But, jumping off from there as well, like what are apart from the ones you mentioned, like what else have you cosplayed as that you're like super proud of?
or what
You
do you want to
reckon,
cosplay as?
or what like and yeah, future prospects.
I think Nightmare has been my favorite so far because that's Nightmare Predator. Like Predator was the first. I was super proud of that, and Nightmare was the last one I did. That's where I really understood how to build cosplay, and I felt adventurous and tried out some materials for the first time. Tried different things. Uh, One thing I'll recommend to everyone: please learn your materials before you buy them. You don't want really heavy swords that you can't carry around. Lauren knows about that. Like I was completely like I just watched some videos online and I thought, okay, this is the way you build it. I went to the shop. I'm like, give me a PVC pipe. I didn't know that PVC pipes have quality, thickness, and weight things. And I bought this white color PVC pipe, UPVC, I think. And once I built my axe on that, it was super damn heavy. I couldn't lift it.
You are
Uh,
not worthy enough.
I was not worthy enough. So
Oh my
the
god.
next time I built a giant sword. I got a thing for giant swords. I find them really cool. So the next time I built
Again.
a yeah,
Mm.
next time I built a giant sword, uh, I made sure that the pipe was correct. It was lightweight enough for me to swing around. But then it's like every time you cosplay, you discover something new. So then I realized, yeah, I should try measurements and staying on a diet because that was a foam cosplay and it became slightly tight because I built it way in advance. And then I'm like, okay. But then I could fix it easily. Foam, you can just heat it and it will stretch a bit. Uh, Helmets are my biggest enemy, to be honest. I find it suffocating. Uh, I think it's just you need to come up with a better way to make a helmet, in my opinion. I should come up with a better way because whatever I made so far, I always found it stuffy. But yeah, that's about it.
You live and you learn, right? I
Yeah,
guess.
true.
So yeah, so one final question. What are the best cosplay that you ever encountered? All of you in
Oh,
your
Jesus. There are
as
so freaking
in life,
many.
not online, offline, as in conventions and everything.
Okay.
In India,
Mm.
let's keep it.
We're narrowing it.
Okay, so we're going to start the shout outs to all the cosplayers online. If you're watching this, you'll know. Say hi, subscribe, like. Uh, so,
Oh my god.
uh, there's Jeet. He's made really amazing stuff. Uh, he's made Iron Man.
I was
Iron.
gonna say that.
Yeah, Jeet is Iron Man.
Sucker for
Jeet
Iron
is
Man.
Iron Man. Ironmonger.
Yeah.
Uh, he's made too many things. I can't remember what he built last. Reinhardt, really amazing. Uh, Samir, Senpai, he's built mad stuff. Like I can't even remember what all he's built. There was Chewbacca. Recently, he built Alucard shield from Castlevania. Lot of stuff. Then there's Akshay. He built Sinanju. Like
Oh.
Sinanju's a Gundam. I'm just saying that for people who don't know. Like he built like a 10 or 11 feet Gundam. So yeah, like it was insane. He also built Xenoblade, which was really cool. Uh, there are so many. These are just the ones that came to my mind first.
We're gonna link, if with your permission, we will link their Instagrams in the
Yeah,
description and show notes.
definitely.
Wow.
Please give them a follow, guys. I mean, you
Yeah.
really gotta appreciate good art when you see it. Go, show some
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Aarti, what is yours? Like,
I haven't, no, again, full disclosure, I haven't actually been to a convention, really sadly. And the one that was going to happen in France, where in my city, got cancelled because of the plague. So, sadly, I wasn't able to go. So,
so
I
if you
have
ever want to
nothing to contribute except asking the questions in this episode. Leave me alone.
so if you want to cosplay as anything, what will you cosplay as? Since you have never been.
Oh, that's a very good question. About what to cosplay as. To be perfectly honest, I would love to cosplay as one of the as Jolene. Okay, I mean that is my goal in life, to
Jojo.
cosplay as Jolene Cujo. Like once I get the body, the ripped body and like the lean muscle and the long enough hair, I will dye my hair green and do a Jolene cosplay hopefully one day in my life. We'll see.
Oh.
Yeah. That's my one wish.
What are yours, Lauren? Like, would you like to be cosplaying as?
The closest thing I did to a cosplay was so Aarti and I were in the same class. We had this farewell where we had to dress up as like
yeah.
at least cartoon characters
I remember.
slash Disney. Yeah. So
I
so
remember.
that's where we did.
Misty.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
built
yeah,
a
yeah.
togepi with foam, and it was the
Yeah.
most adorable
Oh
little
yeah, yeah.
togepi I had
Very
ever seen in
basic.
my entire
That was
life.
my first time trying paper mache, and then I got Ryle to help as well. Yeah. That was the closest thing I've done to a cosplay.
It was a
But
very
that
accurate
process itself.
cosplay.
Yeah.
Like you had the red suspenders and everything. It was wonderful. Good job.
Oh. Yeah. But that itself drove me crazy. Like Ryle, I can be like a perfectionist, so I'm very, very particular. So making like a proper cosplay, like for Comic-Con, like a serious one, I was like, that requires a lot of time, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I haven't been able to. Yeah. I always did want to do like one of Urza's armor though. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that
I
was very difficult
really.
to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Lauren did a casual
Let's see.
cosplay of Catwoman, I think. Catwoman casual
Oh
thing.
lol. That was
It was a
oh
casual
the
cosplay,
Catwoman
but
costume.
you still
Okay, you have to listen to this. Okay, there was a Halloween party. I think it was a Comic-Con pre-event if I'm not wrong. We were all underage. Okay. It was at a
you have
bar.
to cut this out. You have to cut this out.
Yeah.
Advance notice. This is being cut out.
No, it doesn't have to be cut out. It was a bar. I
No,
think
we just be censored.
yeah. Yeah, you were underage, and I remember Ryle saying, "No, it's okay. We'll get entry. We'll get entry. Just cosplay." So, because if you cosplay, you get a free shot or something. I was like, "Okay, fine." And then I went through this whole trouble of dressing up with Catwoman with the ears and the tail and some makeup and whatnot. All of that. And I think Ryan and a few bunch of all of us, okay, we all went dressed up as different characters, and we didn't get entry. They didn't allow us to enter because, and I was like, "Cry, you said." So then all of us went to Five Spice, which is like the restaurant, and yeah, we were just chilling there in our costumes. Yeah,
Their weird looks
very
or
unproblematic.
yeah.
Well, as a disclaimer, we do not condone underage drinking, and this is a very safe story. Do not say
Yes,
do as your parents advise you to do. Thank you.
yeah. There was no drinking involved. We just wanted to
Yeah.
go for
Yeah.
to meet the people. We don't drink. No.
Now that is a lie.
There were
White lies, Lauren. Realistic ones.
in my
Oh my
defense
god.
there was person X who shall not be named who said we will get entry no matter what happens, he'll let us in. So yeah, that where my part was like, let's go Lauren, let's go. Person
Yeah,
X
I
didn't
got
show up, he ditched us last
the
minute.
the peer pressure got to me.
Well,
But it was
Yeah,
fun. I mean,
it was
I
fun.
don't regret it. It was fun.
But we did get to go for one of the pre-events. We were allowed in for one of the pre-events. I remember. You had painted your face. It was
You painted
it
my
was a
face.
Halloween.
That was
I
a
painted
yeah.
every
That was
face.
another
Halloween. That was another pre-event, but for Halloween, I think. We were
yeah
allowed in
yeah.
that one, but the later event we were not allowed. I don't know how that works, but we got one event, so that was cool.
very cool.
Oh my god.
We do not condone underage drinking. Drink when you are of legal age and moderate consumption of alcohol because it is injurious to health. Take it from somebody who works in the alcohol industry and drinks alcohol very often because, that is the job. But moderate consumption, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be responsible. Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Final thoughts, guys?
Yeah, for cosplay, the only thing I can say is do everything that Lauren says. Stay hydrated. That's the most
Plan in
important thing.
advance.
Yeah, plan in advance. Stay hydrated. Put in some effort. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah. Have fun with it, guys.
Have
It's
fun.
okay.
Yeah, just have
Yeah,
fun.
it's okay. Like at the end of the day, it's your creation, and people will still appreciate it.
Be
And
proud of it.
oh my god, when people come to you asking for pictures, you just feel it's a very good feeling. Yeah, but in
Yeah, and
general,
if you don't want to make any effort in life, you can always do what Anshuman did is go and
Yeah.
go and try character in anime and still enjoy a good convention
A
safely.
background character, not even side, a background character.
Yes, background character who gets no screen time.
Actually, they get
that's
a lot
like
of.
when I was in a play.
They
Oh,
get the
what
most
will you
screen
dress
time.
up as? Oh, the tree. That's exactly what it equates to. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yep, that's it. Hmm.
Okay. Considering I'm being told to cut it off here, that marks the end of the episode, guys. We hope you enjoyed. Thanks for listening to us ramble on about our experiences. Hopefully, we'll have cons come back once the plague is over. All of the links to our awesome cosplay shout out people and videos that we mentioned will be found in the description below. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave us feedback and reach out on our email at comicallyunstabledog@gmail.com and follow us on Twitter and Instagram for more random updates. Thanks.
Yes, and like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also
Who
comment
would guess?
what's your favorite
Comment
cosplay.
for the engagement, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.